Hi friends, मैं हूँ शिप्रा मिश्रा, आपकी पर्सनल फाइनेंस एडवाइजर and today we will discuss everything which is not right about the new tax regime. As an option, it is a great tool to increase disposable income in your hand, especially for those who have just started their career and do not have enough money to make their ends meet, or for those who have certain goals to achieve this year like wedding or higher education, and they can make better use of money in hand than saving them towards long-term savings scheme. However, if you're availing it only to increase your disposable income and use it towards lifestyle management or avenues that can give you instant gratification, then let me tell you, you are encouraging an alarming behavioral change around money management, and you should be aware of it and weigh it before opting towards the new tax regime. Now, there are a lot of calculations and maths around new and old tax regime, and internet is full of such links and you can go through them, and therefore today I am not going to talk about the maths about it. However, I am going to talk about the behavioral change this new tax regime is going to bring about, and I feel it is alarming in nature. Now let's discuss why this option was brought in place. This was brought in place to increase your disposable income. More disposable income means more spending, and therefore you'll pump in more money in the market and the market will grow better. Now that's super good for the Indian economy. But when you spend a lot and not save a lot, then you're affecting your own future. In comparison, the old tax method gives you tax benefit and makes you lock in your money for certain years. This helps you inculcate the behavior of saving, and only after a few years of saving money and getting interest on it, you realize the benefit of it and you continue to do that. But now with that need gone, you spend a lot and take care of the Indian economy, but who's taking care of your own future? Have you thought about it? If that question doesn't ring a bell, then let me remind you of 2008 financial crisis where US suffered the most, because as a culture they don't believe in saving and they spend what they earn, and a lot of people, when they lost their job, they were hit really badly by the financial crisis. Now remember the question and remember this event while I take you through the remaining content of this video. But before that, if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon below so that you get notifications of new and interesting videos that I bring for you. Now let's take a step back into the Indian money management culture. As a culture, we were savings oriented. If you think about your parents and grandparents, apparently they used to believe in savings first. Whatever income they used to get, a majority part of it would get earmarked for the future, and remaining part of the salary would be used for monthly expenses. Sometimes it meant there would be little resources to take care of the monthly expenses. Now that may sound a little extreme savings behavior, but definitely it ensured a safe future for them. Now this culture of saving started to change with the advent of credit card a few decades back. I remember back in 2004 and 5, credit card companies and banks would not give credit card to person earning 40 or 50,000 monthly salary or having a private job, because they were not considered to have enough income or a safe job for the repayment of the credit card bill. Now this changed a lot in last decade or so. Everybody now has a credit card. Now credit card in itself is not wrong. It's a great tool to have. However, if you do not use it judiciously, you learn the bad behavior towards the money management, which is getting into the debt cycle. Now let's understand what is a debt cycle. Let's say you have a salary of 50,000 rupees, but you spend 70,000 using your credit card. Come next month, you first pay the bill on the credit card, and because you are left with the smaller sum of money, you again use credit card to use it towards your lifestyle management. Next month again, you first pay the credit card bill and left with lesser resources in hand. And this cycle continues and continues until you are completely trapped in the debt cycle, and your entire salary, when it comes, first goes towards taking care of the credit card bill. While our culture and taxation system was built in a manner that you were forced to save money when you had limited income, and a few years of doing so would inculcate the habit and the discipline of saving, so that when you had a bigger income or raise in salary, you were confident enough to know that you have to earmark this extra income towards your goals in the future. However, with the advent of credit card and non-judicious use of credit card, we learned to spend a lot and spend this extra money towards lifestyle management. So instead of saving more, we learned to get into the debt cycle and bad behavior towards money. And maybe that was not enough. Companies introduced easy EMI options or zero interest options. Now that are great options to have if you are able to use them judiciously. But if you are not able to use them judiciously, you buy something today and keep paying for it in the future, and you learn the lifestyle inflation, and you learn to stay trapped in the debt cycle and the bad behavior towards money than learning to save money. With the introduction of credit cards and the easy EMI options, now your salary is parked first to go towards bill payment of credit cards and your EMIs. And then you're left with really little resources to take care of monthly expenses. Remember your parents and grandparents, they would park big sum of money for the future and have little resources to use for your monthly expenses. Now you spend a lot in instant gratification and lifestyle management, again left with small sum of money to take care of monthly expenses. So every generation have little amount of money left for monthly expenses, while one generation saved a lot, another generation is spending a lot. And maybe that was not enough. With the introduction of new tax regime, you're not required to save any money. You don't even get tax benefit on the little saving options that you have. So you have increased disposable income, less saving, and less interest towards saving. Now what we do not realize is that every time there is a smaller increase in our disposable income and we spend it towards lifestyle management, we are actually learning to spend a lot, and this is actually lifestyle inflation. So you are getting trapped in spending more, and your needs and wants will never end, and you will never have enough to save towards your future goals. Now, if you do not judiciously use this extra disposable income and you do not earmark them for the future, then you are learning a third negative behavior towards your money management, and you should be alarmed by it. Because remember the question, who's taking care of your future? Second, there is no predictability of market. 2008 said so. 2020 is saying so. And third, instead of learning to save, you are learning to spend more. Let me further explain it to you with a rough calculation in an Excel sheet.
Okay, so here is an example that I have taken to explain the behavioral change where a person A uses savings and old tax method, and person B who uses to learn to spend more and uses the new tax method. Please be aware that it's just an example based on the rough calculation. It doesn't mean that the person B cannot save or cannot learn to save. It's just an extreme example to make a point around behavioral change. Both the person starts to earn 5 lakh rupees in the year one. They have EPF amount that I have calculated roughly, and rent and medical insurance to pay, which is a fixed expense irrespective of which tax option you take. Person A forces himself to save a little, about 5,000 rupees per month in the year one. So at the end of year one, he has 60,000 rupees in his hand, and now he is able to show it under the tax options and gets benefit around it. Their income, their EPF, expenses, and savings, I have taken all of this grow by 20% every year. So come seventh year, they both will be at 15 lakh rupees, where the tax slab becomes same for both of them. Now look at the disposable monthly income. Person A has a monthly income of 32,000 rupees, and person B has monthly income of 35,000 rupees. So the disposable income difference for both of them is 3,500 rupees. So person B gets a bit extra each month by using new tax method. Now this is not a big sum. In our mind we feel this is a small amount and let me spend it, let me use it to buy something that will make me happy. Whenever I have big sum of money in my hand, I'll start saving. And each year the gap changes just a little bit. It's not a big sum of money. And therefore, every year, person B learns to spend a little extra. And the learning behavior the person is inculcating is spending a little extra. Come the end of sixth year, person A has about 6 lakh rupees saved in his account, and the tax benefit he received on EPF and rent and medical insurance I have calculated should be roughly around 1 lakh rupees. So at the end of sixth year, person A has 7 lakh rupees in his hand, but person B has a learning of spending more.
This doesn't mean people opting for new tax regime are ensured to fail. It just means that we need to learn the judicious behavior towards our money management. Obviously, each of them Credit card, EMI options, and new tax regime are just options, and you should use them judiciously for your own holistic benefit and not become slave of them. I hope this video brings you an awareness of how to use these tools judiciously. I encourage you to ask your questions and doubts in the comments below, or you can also write to me on my Gmail ID that I'll put in the description. Let's have a healthy discussion around it, because hey, I have best of your interest in my mind when I created this video. Have a nice day.